The solution to Meredith and Catherine's fight was set up earlier than Meredith's research focus became a problem in Grey's Anatomy. Although Grey's Anatomy Season 21's premiere focused on different issues among those established in Grey's Anatomy Season 20's finale, a great chunk of the season premiere dealt with the aftermath of Meredith's decision to quit and publish her study's findings. Meredith and Catherine's fight thus took center stage in Grey's Anatomy Season 21's premiere for how it influenced Meredith and Amelia, but also Jackson, who wanted to continue to fund them, and Catherine, who just wanted to stop them. Jackson's influence proved instrumental in convincing Meredith to steer from the warpath and consider apologizing to Catherine so that Amelia, Owen, and Teddy could get their jobs back. However, Meredith's visit to Catherine soon shifted her priorities once she found Catherine unexpectedly collapsing in her own office with only Meredith to help her. Meredith checking up on her led her to discover how Catherine's cancer had progressed, presenting yet another difficult argument for the two to have. While the discovery gave Meredith incredible leverage, it also heavily hinted at the sad way the fight between Meredith and Catherine could end. Catherine decided she doesn't want invasive cancer treatments back in Grey's Anatomy Season 19. Catherine has been hiding the truth from Jackson and Richard for some time. While Meredith discovered Catherine's cancer was progressing only because Catherine collapsed in front of her, Catherine had known about it for some time. Indeed, one scene in Grey's Anatomy Season 19, Episode 5 showed Tom Korosik chasing Catherine and pushing her to either consider invasive treatments for her progressing cancer or to tell Jackson and Richard, as they had a right to know, and soon they would have realized it nonetheless when her cancer spread. Catherine adamantly opposed Jackson and Richard's involvement, highlighting how she wanted to spend her last months in a hospital as a doctor, not a patient. While Catherine eventually told Richard about her cancer progressing in Grey's Anatomy Season 19, Episode 10, after Richard realized her Reiki treatments had something to do with it, Richard still didn't know how much the cancer had really progressed. This became evident once Meredith proposed to call Jackson and Richard, which Catherine vehemently opposed. Grey's Anatomy Season 21, Episode 2's trailer already showed how badly Catherine's cancer affected her liver, prolonging Meredith's time with Catherine, trying to convince her to agree to a treatment. However, this story also hinted at the sad ending Meredith and Catherine's fight could have. Catherine's cancer progressing hints at her impending death. Catherine and Meredith's exchange revolved around their legacies. Meredith and Catherine's fight may very well be resolved before Catherine's death, especially if that were to happen in Grey's Anatomy Season 22 or later, but all their exchanges in Grey's Anatomy Season 21's premiere point to Catherine's death happening relatively soon. Not only did Catherine remind Meredith of everything that needs to be prepared before dying, but she also focused her message on taking stock of her life and being remembered as a medicine innovator rather than for her last days spent sick at the hospital. Between Catherine's pragmatism about her condition and her certainty of wanting to handle her illness in private, Grey's Anatomy Season 21 dropped various hints Catherine's death might happen soon. If her last days were to be spent bargaining with Meredith over her Alzheimer's. In Season 19, Catherine's cancer progression became a significant storyline, delving into the raw, painful aspects of managing a disease that is as personal as it is clinical. Her treatment journey put a strain on her marriage with Richard Webber and her relationship with her son, Jackson Avery. The show meticulously illustrated how her condition weighed on her identity as a surgeon, a mother, and a leader, causing fans to wonder how, or if, Catherine would ever truly find peace. Hints from the past, Catherine's future foreshadowed. In retrospect, the show's writers cleverly planted seeds for Catherine's resolution in the storylines of the past two seasons. In an interview 2 years ago, showrunner Krista Vernoff hinted at a unique storyline involving Catherine, one that would showcase her resilience but also suggest that a softer, more reflective side of her might emerge in the coming years. This line was often brushed off by fans as a passing remark, but it actually served as a clue about Catherine's journey to eventual closure. In Season 19, Catherine received a stark reminder of her mortality during a conversation with Meredith Grey. The two had an intense moment in the OR, one that brought up themes of legacy, purpose, and the impact of one's life. Catherine had whispered to Meredith, "There comes a point, even for the greats, when we have to find peace within ourselves, not in our work." This line, simple yet profound, was a quiet premonition. At the time, it seemed like a fleeting piece of wisdom shared between colleagues. But it was actually a signal of things to come. A journey of self-reflection in Season 21. Season 21 brings this theme to the forefront. Catherine finds herself drawn back to Boston, the city where Jackson has taken up the mantle of running the Fox Foundation with a renewed sense of purpose. Boston represents her past achievements, but also the weight of legacy that she's left for her son. Unlike previous seasons, Catherine appears less in the or and more in boardrooms and community centers, engaging in conversations that focus on healing beyond surgical success. But Catherine's true resolution begins when she's invited by an old friend to give a speech to young medical students. During the speech, Catherine finds herself reminiscing about her early days as a black female surgeon in a world dominated by men, sharing stories of her battles, both in the or and in life. What starts as a formal address turns deeply personal, with Catherine reflecting openly about the sacrifices she made in the name of her career. The students are captivated, but more importantly, so is she, and for the first time, she recognizes the importance of letting go of the idea that she has to fight every battle alone. This is when her epiphany begins to unfold. Catherine realizes that while she has spent her entire life building a legacy, her true purpose might lie not in how many lives she can save, but in how she can inspire the next generation. She's long been an advocate for underrepresented communities, but her battle with cancer has shown her the importance of advocating for those who are struggling personally, mentally, and emotionally as well. And so, she decides to create a foundation within the Fox Foundation, specifically focused on mental health support and mentorship for young medical students facing the same challenges she once did. The impact on her relationships. This journey has a profound impact on her relationship with Richard. In a quiet scene between the two, Catherine admits to Richard that she's tired, not just of fighting cancer, but of feeling like her legacy can only be secured through relentless achievement. Richard listens.